Good morning.
Okay, why am I not, my video's not on? Okay. Oh,
There we go.
gotta change my viewer. I had it for the seminar. I do gallery view for the seminar so I could just watch Bob and not focus on what everybody else is
I love it. That's
doing.
great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm actually coming up with some great ideas and not stressing about the end game. Like I was in really confusion. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get 25 of these done in the year based on the schedule that chat gave me. But I got out of that mode and just like, okay, it doesn't need to be a 45-minute episode. It can be 10 minutes.
Yeah, I love that. I do have an 11 o'clock appointment too, so just
Okay.
to keep an eye
It'll
on
be
the
quick.
clock.
Okay. Do you want to just go for it? I'll do my intro and we'll just start asking questions.
Yeah, that's great. Did you change up the questions? I was looking at them this morning just to
No,
go over them.
no, I haven't
Perfect.
changed anything.
You're like, no, Nikki, I don't have time to even record the episodes, let alone change the questions.
Right, exactly,
I love it.
exactly.
I
So,
love it.
all right, here we go. Welcome back to Come to the Well, where Christian women gather in life and in business to be restored, refocused, and refilled in Christ. Today, I have a powerful guest, my friend Nikki Hudson, founder of Efficiency on Tap. Nikki helps Christian women reclaim their time, establish spiritual disciple, and build business that honors God without burnout, busy work, or overwhelm. Through systems, web design, and faith led strategies, she teaches women how to stop living in chaos and start stewarding their time the way God intended with clarity, purpose, and peace. If you've ever found yourself that you're just not enough or you just don't have enough time, feel guilty for running on empty while trying to grow your business and serve everyone around you, today's conversation is for you. We're talking about time freedom, spiritual discipline, how to break the cycle of distractions so you can step fully into your God given calling. So grab a cup of coffee, a glass of water, and welcome to the well. Nikki, so glad to have you. Glad you took the time to meet with us. So tell me a little bit about so many women feel rushed and burnt out in business and in life. From your experience, what is the root cause of women losing their time? And what does God say about stewarding their time at the well?
Oh my gosh, this is such a great question. And I honestly, I don't think that a lot of women struggle with time management. I think what they're actually struggling with is time stewardship. And the root issue is not that we don't have enough time, right?
Right,
It's that our time is really being stolen by one of three things or more of these things, but lack of boundaries. I think it's stolen by reactive living and then like trying to be everything to everybody around us all the time. Like we're trying to be the Swiss Army knife in our life all the time to everybody. And when you do take a look at the scripture, God doesn't ever ask us to do everything. Thank God. But what he does
right.
ask us to do is steward what's ours. And he truly is the God of order, right? Not of chaos. And so every time I start to like drift over here into burnout, it's likely because I am managing expectations that God never handed me. And stewardship really means that we are responsible for aligning our time with the things that God has assigned to us, right? So, not guilt, right? Mom guilt, whatever it is, grandma guilt. I mean, we all have some sort of guilt,
Right.
especially as women. We have our culture telling us we need to be the homemaker and the breadwinner at the same time, and just people's expectations. And so once women can shift from I have to get everything done to I have to steward what God is putting in my hands, I think all that overwhelm breaks, period.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you go into more detail about what hit me is the reactive living?
Yeah.
Because I find myself in that reacting to drama or something. So, talk about that in the relationship with real, like aligning. your time. That just hit me that I think we need to kind of dive deeper into that because I like that what you shared in that piece.
Yeah. I feel like reactive living is when you don't have a plan, right? You see it. I mean, could you imagine if players went out on the football field and they didn't have the plan of what the play was going to look like? It would be so sloppy, it would be so messy. And so when we're living in that reactive living, to me, I know that those days I usually, well, here's the thing. And this kind of goes with the next question I know that you were planning on asking,
Right.
which is connecting faith practices to running an efficient and profitable business. So sorry to skip ahead, but they do
No,
tie
no.
together. But I know that my business gets sloppy the second my spiritual life gets sloppy, period.
Right.
And so when you have discipline and faith, it creates discipline everywhere else. Um, it's so get back to the analogy of the football field, or even going to the gym or going to the grocery store. When you do not have a plan, you're just buying everything at the grocery store. And when you go to the gym and you don't know what to do, you stand on you're like on the treadmill, or you're wasting time not knowing what machine to get to next because you haven't done the due diligence beforehand. And so in life, in every category, there is a prep period that you have to do. I mean, if you want to lose weight, you are meal prepping. If, you're
Yeah.
figuring out what your exercise routine is going to look like. And business is no different. And so I feel like when there's people who say, I don't have time for this, it's because they're overcommitting. They're saying yes to too much. They're not, hey, let me take a look at my calendar and see if that fits in. They're just reacting. They're just saying yes. Again, it goes to that Swiss Army knife. They're trying to be everything to everybody all the time without taking a pause and asking God if it's a good yes or if it should be a no. And I feel like when you have that discipline of just starting your day with the Lord, which is something else I want to talk about too, like
Right.
having a solid morning routine where, you get to God before the world even touches you. You can, you won't find yourself getting into the weeds, right? When you have
Right.
his clarity, you're not going to be spending all day fixing things that you never even needed to start to begin with. So
Right.
I don't know if that answers the question, but
No,
that's,
no, it does. So that goes into many Christian women want that discipline, but end up distracted. So can you share a simple practice or discipline that could help? Because you mentioned going to the Lord first. So walk
yeah.
me through a spiritual discipline that we could guide women today to start very simply.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you are a woman and you feel scattered and you feel spiritually dry, reclaim your mornings, even if it's just 15 minutes. And before we even started recording this, Colleen was saying, we're all this way, and I'm very transparent and open, so I hope you don't mind me sharing this. But she was saying, I got to get all these podcasts recorded, and, it's like we want to put a time, they have all got to be this amount of time. And it's like, no, it doesn't, we're
No,
not
right.
looking for a miracle hour here. We're not looking for the perfect morning routine. In anything, you're not looking for the perfect routine. And when you're getting started on something, just start small, just get comfortable doing something that takes 5 minutes. So even I'll use the gym again as an example. Um, Getting to the gym. If getting to the gym is hard for you, just say, I'm going to go for just 15 minutes or just 30 minutes. Like that's all I'm going to do. And all I'm going to do is walk on the treadmill. After about 5 days, you're going to be so sick of that treadmill, you will go over into the weights. It's inevitable. Like that is going to happen if you are like on a health journey and you want to lose weight or you want to get, lean out, you want to build muscle, that is going to happen. And so it's almost like just force yourself with something that feels comical, like, okay, reclaiming my mornings with 5 minutes. That might feel silly, but are you doing it right now? Just start with 5 minutes, just start with 10,
Right.
15, whatever makes sense. And again, it's just this protected pocket of time where, like I said, God gets you before the world gets to you. And it
Right.
can be really simple with just I'm going to spend 5 or 10 minutes just reading one psalm, right? I'm going to pray a simple prayer that's, Lord, show me what actually matters today. And that will lead right into picking three priorities, just three, not 30. I think sometimes my to-do list can get real long, but I try to have just three things on my priority list for the day. Like these have to get done today for me to steward my time really well. And if you have clients or kids or whatever that looks like, I look at my whole calendar, all categories of my life, and what are those three things that have to get done today that need my time and energy and attention. Because there's nothing worse than like going from project to project to project to project to other thing to other task. And it's like it takes a lot of energy. It's kind of like when you're on a road trip. I speak in analogies, that's just how I am. But when you're on a road trip and you're like, you're going 85 miles down the highway in the left lane and someone has to use the bathroom. It's like it adds 25 minutes to your road trip time, right? And that's how it is when you jump from task to task to task. And so just having those three things that you know you need to get done, that at the end of the day, you're like, this is what the Lord handed me, and I feel good about it. And I can go to bed at ease, feeling grounded, feeling focused, feeling just aligned. And I feel like that alignment is just more productive than any planning hack out there ever could give you. So
Right,
it's just a
right.
single shift, just that 15 minutes in the morning. Again, not like this magical miracle hour, but just a time to just sit, read a little bit of scripture, and just that one simple prayer. Show me what I need to do today that actually matters. And then pick those three top priorities for the day. And that is such a great way to get started. And if you do that for a month, like commit to doing that for 30 days, you'll see you build the habit and then it starts to evolve from there. So that's where I would start.
That was great discipline practice. So you help women with business to set up systems and help them with the overwhelm. And God actually gives them that time. So how does simplifying their business on the back end open the door for more peace and profitability and purpose? So share what you do for that small entrepreneurial women that sets you apart from the people that I scroll online that says, I can help you build a website or I can do this for you, those instant experts. So if you can kind of tell us a little bit about how you give the women systems, whether it's in business and life. So share that with us if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first thing I'm thinking of is that when a woman's or any business owner's back end is chaotic, so is their mind. And so it's always the people who have a hard time booking a call with me because again, it just goes back to they're so busy. They've overcommitted. They've said yes to everything.
Mhm.
And I mean, it
Right.
really does bleed into every single area. And um, the thing that I think sets me apart, and I will say there are other people who out there who do what I do, and that's the beauty of it is how God made us, right? But I am really passionate about helping business owners stay in their calling and not letting it get buried underneath all of the busy work. Because again, then we're not operating in our calling, right? That's my calling is to help you stay in your calling, stay in your lane. And when we can come together, and I really like to know all of my clients. I like to know where they live. I like to know their family dynamic. I like to know these things because business is just one piece of our life, right? We have so many things that make us who we are. And it's really important when we're building brands and building websites because all of that gets translated, right? There's a million different ways to do business. And so when I can really know someone, it allows me to sync up with them and to deliver things that really are going to work for them because in business, especially with back end systems, it's not one size fits all. And so I really like to know them. So there's that. And then having that back end system, because you asked about more profitability, right? And more peace. So when you simplify the back end, it literally creates margin in your day. It creates breathing room for you. So you're not drowning in notifications, right? Um, Leads are being followed up with automatically. Clients are onboarded properly. Nothing's falling through the cracks. The website's doing the talking, and all of that is money. I mean, time is money. Time is
Right.
money. And when she gets the peace, well, when she gets the clarity, then she can have peace. The consistency will help profitability. And then when all the noise goes down, that's when all the purpose shows up and there can be more clarity. And I think, especially in this AI world, and I love AI, and I know you do as well, um, it can be easy to go down lots of rabbit holes because AI
Right.
is designed to be agreeable with what we want, right? So
Right.
it'll always tell us our ideas are good, but AI is not God. And so when you have that margin to hear from God again, you get this opportunity to really focus on the part of calling that only you can do, or only she can do, or only I
Right.
can do. And that is crucial to moving the kingdom forward, right? It's why we
Right.
are in business to begin with. So,
Right. So quickly highlight, your services for that, that woman, because you said a lot very quickly. So
yeah,
break it down into a who EOT is, efficiently
yeah,
on tap. What is the sweet spot when someone's looking for you? Because many listeners might not be hearing what you're saying. So give us a quick
absolutely.
analogy of who you help in your services so they can find you quicker.
Yeah. So this is the best way that I've been able to describe myself lately because I do wear a lot of hats. I'm kind of a Jill of all trades. There's not a whole lot I can do. So I can come all the way over here where I'm a expert virtual assistant, right? To all the way over here where I do more of like ops, like operations and marketing management. And so I have been what I do best and do the most for my clients is I am a fractional ops and marketing manager. So I am for the smaller businesses who are still on the upswing to scaling and growing, but they need someone to come in and manage the technical pieces, manage the back end, help with social media, help with strategy. And so, but they're not ready to hire someone full time to have that business manager, to have that marketing person, they're not ready to hire full time for those positions yet. And they need someone who's very part time who can just manage it well, and it just works and goes and is happening while they're out in the world meeting new prospects, getting it done, and just getting, they know the system. They plug and play. And so oftentimes what I do is I come in and create SOPs, or standard operating practices for businesses, or women, so that they have systems that they can fall back on, because really businesses are only as strong as their weakest systems. And so we identify those. Maybe it's they don't have a website. Maybe it's their website is unclear about what the customer journey looks like and what steps people should take when they land on the website. Maybe their website's good and they need help. They suck at social media and they need someone just to take that over entirely. Maybe it's getting blogs out. Maybe it's email newsletters. Maybe it's just coaching, right? So I have tools, I have platforms, I have systems, I have all of these buckets. So really where the woman is at, this is what I'm passionate about, is that no one should be like, there should be no block in building a business because there's no finances. And so I have very unique payment plans, very unique things I do with some of my clients. I have
Right.
some I trade with, I have some that I have some that pay me, percentages of their sales. And so I just really feel strongly that, I feel like this, I feel not to make fun of this at all because it's a very important program, but I feel like SNAP benefits, but for business owners when it comes to like
Yeah. Yeah.
marketing. And so, I have clients with all kinds of budgets and all kinds of things, and I work with their budgets and what they have. And so that's also another thing that's different about me in this industry is there's not a lot of people who do that, but I just feel very strongly about it because there's some amazing people out there who have amazing callings and can't, don't have a digital footprint because they don't know how to even get started. And so, Yeah.
Well, and I think you could, speak on this. As women, we're very creative. God gave us creativity, and a lot of women don't see their creativity.
Yep.
And I want you to speak to that woman that is has an idea or is very creative, and God has placed on her heart to do this particular business or something. Um, I think that's, a good sweet spot for you, that they could come and you can kind of guide and coach them in this and give them a system. So I guess I would like to focus for the last few minutes on that woman that is like, I really need to get out of my job or my corporate America. And I have this idea of, I'm just going to use sourdough bread making and I want to make a business out of that, but I don't know how. And
Yeah.
they're hearing you on EOT. I'm like, God, I really need to get to meet this woman, get to know Nikki, because I like what she says. So speak to that woman and how she can find you and how you can get her God-given calling of sourdough bread making into a lucrative business so she can provide.
Yes, absolutely. So I honestly, the first step with me is a 15-minute call. We just talk and we talk about to see if there's even potential there, right? And what I like to do in those 15 or 20 minutes is just give her one big win, one step that she can take. Because I feel like when we think about business, we're like, then I have to do this and I have to do this, I have to do this. And it's really just about
Right,
what are the next one, two, three steps that you could take? And we break those down together. And sometimes that looks like working together, and sometimes that looks like her just making it happen on her own. But that's the first step that I take with any new client is 15 minutes. Like, let's see if this could even be a good partnership. Let's see if I could be a good fit for you. Let's see if the calling you have is something that can be monetized, right? Um,
right,
and so we just kind of dig into those and just see what the potential is there. It's really I don't try to pitch you on anything or sell you on anything. We just talk about what God is downloading to you and kind of fine tune it and get a little bit more clear. So that's the first step. And then when clients do sign up, we have different directions that we go. Some just want coaching, some just want the platform that I have that kind of does it all. It's an all-in-one platform. And so some just want to get started on there with some light coaching or just use the support tools I've created. Some women want me to build it initially and then manage it themselves. Some people want me to do it all. So again, those 15 minutes, we just kind of see where you're at, what your budget is, if it could be a good plan, and we make a game plan from that. And sometimes that involves me taking that next step with you, and sometimes it doesn't. And that's
right,
totally
right,
at peace with all of that. I trust that God's bringing me the right women, and um, hopefully I can also be a resource on those to at least point them to something else. I have tons of assets and courses and recordings and workbooks, as you well know. And
right,
so
right, right.
lots of tools too. So if someone's not entirely ready to go, launch a business, then we have those things that can help develop what it could look like. So really wherever she's at on her journey, if it's just from a thought to she's already got an LLC going, I have next steps for her.
So, ladies, if you're a listener and hearing, Nikki's heart and really are passionate about connecting with her, really, I call you to reach out to Nikki and book that 15-minute clarity or spiritual discipleship call. So Nikki, how can they reach out to you after
Yeah.
they're listening to this? Give us
You
all the logos and stuff.
I love it. Yes, you can just go to efficiencyontap.com, and there'll be a button there where you can look at more of my services, but you can also book a call too. So that's how you
Wow,
get in
that
touch.
that's great. Now, Nikki, I always, ask women, as they come to the well, share this episode with a friend, a sister, or someone that heard something from you. So, what word could they use that we could send them directly to that 15-minute call or a downloadable PDF, one of your free resources that they could start if they're not really sure about booking that 15 minutes? What can we share with them to send them after they listen to this?
That is a great question.
Maybe we just send discipline
Yeah.
and you and I can fight. If you all ladies hear this and type discipline when you reach out to myself at Sustainable on Facebook or Instagram, or if you do the same thing for Nikki at efficiencyOnTap.com, one of us will send you a downloadable sheet or I'll connect you to getting on that 15-minute call because as we all know, ladies, we need to come to the well, find spiritual sisters like Nikki and myself who really are passionate to help you in business and in life. So thanks so much, Nikki, for your time and your awesome energy. And I know these women will be blessed with whatever they do with you moving forward.
You're awesome, Colleen. Thank you so much. And looking forward to connecting with you,
Yeah,
ladies.
and I'm sure we'll be having Nikki back again, sharing more of her tips, tools, and tricks. So thanks so much.
Thank you.